there are a few ways to make sure that we are shaking things off. We want to make sure we shake off this incoherence in every way. And to note that seizures and illnesses like Parkinson's disease, they're so much on the rise. Why is that? Because if the body doesn't have the chance to shake off its pain consciously, it's going to shake it off unconsciously. It's going to do it when you don't expect it to happen. And it's going to, come through later in life. I can't tell you how many people I see, even in their 20s, there is a little mild shake to them. I don't even think they realize it. It's kind of like, again, that proverbial frog in the boiling pot. They're becoming used to, everyone's used to having a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a tremor that no one even notices it anymore. People have so much locked up fear, so much locked up suppressed emotion, and it's trying to come through, and it can't come through because they're not consciously dancing it off. They're not consciously shaking it off. They're not consciously releasing it through colon irrigation. They're not consciously sweating it out in infrared sauna or channeling it through exercise. They might be exercising it, but they might be exercising, but unless they're consciously aware of the fact they want to channel old trapped calcified energy, incoherence out of the body while they exercise, it's not going to happen. So we need to make sure that we do this in order to bring our coherence back, shaking things off on every level we can. And then one thing you can think about in terms of your own voice, just a very, very simple thing. Do you apologize for everything? If you're somebody who's always apologizing or always feeling bad about something, you're so worried about what other people will think of what you say. And that's an obvious, it's like, it's so obvious, but if you're someone who does that, it will give you a really quick ticket in to seeing just how much you censor yourself. And it's funny because, we talk about being politically incorrect and everyone tries to tread so carefully over everybody else's toes, but ultimately everyone's in untruth. So what's the point of being so carefully censored and trying not to, trying to be politically or socially correct when the most socially incorrect thing of all is to deny who and what we really are. And that's an insult to everybody. And then the other thing I would think is a good litmus test, and it kind of goes hand in hand with abuse. As I said, abuse can happen in all ways, and our culture basically abuses us from the start by shutting us down. But can you say in your life that you have accepted the unacceptable? I think everybody can say that. It's my biggest pet peeve, accepting the unacceptable. And it's something I won't do anymore. And the more you become aware of what's unacceptable and the fact that you won't accept it, the more you have to use your voice to speak up against it, either knowing that you would if you were put in a situation or doing so actually in every scenario in which you need to. So have you accepted the unacceptable? And then you can think about all the ways that you may have done that. Do you apologize for everything? And do certain people make you so nervous you can't express yourself well? And who are those people and why? And write all these things down and come to terms with them. Because when you do, you're going to start to see how it's all staying in your way. Remember, we talked about clearing the path. Clear everything that's in your way out of your way. Don't be intimidated by people. Why are you intimidated? Let's unpack that, figure out what's going on. What's the true story behind that? That innocent truth in you wants that out of the way. Your soul wants to speak. It's been waiting its whole life to speak. Let it speak. As it speaks, it gets to grow. That's a huge connection. So the more you're able to unify, embody that primal power, have that completely clear knowledge of what maintains and sustains the life, what's good for the conditions of life, the more you'll be able to say that out loud. And whatever it will come out, you're not going to go and teach people necessarily the cycles of life and how calcification impedes it. I'm not saying that you need to go and make that your breakfast table conversation, or talk about that at the juice bar. What is important is that you don't speak the script, that you use the words of power in order to communicate what you most need to say, however you most need to say it, to reflect that truth and that being that you are in whatever situation, circumstance you find yourself. Okay.